I get interrupted in the meantime, but this is chapter 13, fiction. After Josh Bagot on Bannon on purpose. Freak out, don't touch me. And the cheese joke during a visit to a home. Should I wear black every day? Joseph 00104 3948 43959585865 9568 665 percentage laugh about E.T. He ran and ran from Golyev and ran to Golyev to save a question mark about what this literature is. Broken pieces of Milton's address. The Russians mean heavy business. Historic comedy show about Laurel and Hardy, and my favourite water scene, and all that is ever said about WLI 240, and who could Jack Warte be on any day of the week, but expressed as translating English into the worst type of Spanish, when he would imagine gulpe as gulp. It is data literature presented as colon, a type of E-Tranje form of writing. Down un código about Chris Bendon having a look-alike everywhere in this tune. Understood as a €2 book and break. Les Visigoths and the Barbarians. And the Galicians from Central Polska in a bucket docker bikini made from yellow material and a quest of a justice 943 5958 that my lungs are on fire due to tar dripping down my lungs at the shoulder blade. Bruffed the second ton of wage shenanigans is to fucked off. Fuck tea. I believe in Flann O'Brien moose-heartedly in the Nueva Bible jurisdiction of Genesis and the Word, when Marla wrote Dr. Faustus on the creation of God, and Nabokov wrote Pale Fire and stated duplicate art, and O'Brien wrote The Third Policeman, and all that had to be taken out of context of purgatory. What I wrote of an Afternish Rockcock 3434 God is dead, which is equal to my own prognosis of facts and things, with an addition of God's soul being created a gun after H.G. Wells wrote a full book on the time machine on die I see in the upper chambers of Golyev, but not Quincy and not KH or not SMDM, but footmills, case you regard and un película on YouTube about time traveling moons after walking on to the Norse about a type of sacrifice. Anyhow, Her Majesty was on the cop with black and white horses on the telly, and what one understands choose on a knight moves and bishop moves style of showmanship, a bit like Kasparov. One tends to see the reins and the whips and not the gorges, but I felt like I was bound in another dimension as good or Godot, or Yahweh wanted of me, in the full knowledge it could go on like this for all eternity, linearly and non-linearly, and constant and non-constant, all in a one colon. As a necklace, due to my life in the fucked suicide aid for fucking right, and neither is murder, especially when God can do anything to a human or a Newman. Yours after I go confused when I saw Moonfrere fucking a woman in the German double after a soft porn phlegm which did not chuck anything all about Inukus agus Anisha Abuli agus Kalini plus equals 1. Let a spell of correspondence is in the house and when la bomba just as go will and corky stummin from chocolate bar countries of the highest lands, and with every stoppin I make about her hardly knowing her at all, but just about knowing her a bit like Miss J.W. I would still on the immersion a coon, a scope all tops of quartz-filled mountain tops, with the hundreds of cackle shoals, without guns following me. The places like Mr. John W. Morg at an incline insert, built and plucked fish from the fields of American presidents, Norse relatives, with all the expressions of starting a fact, sick as a fact. The Dutch pass of that literature could go on far away, Eva, as an ode to all forms of literature, in a bog standard book about life back then, life now, life in the future, looking at language from the Spock Tove of all the phenomenons and funny guns to Dudley Moore style Boxwish is a book on other words and quite the richness of Ling ere owes to be said when I know I could state the truth about obstinate and obtuse paying words I do not know or the moment and I'm quite stubborn about it all, despite the fact the test of all the tests will not be a shoal, but the boom I've started everything about love, and how fearless proximity is I well stood the mar of this laugh as a testament regarding the purpose of life is all about everyone eventually knowing about the universe and knowing all the feelings untouched everything in the universe by the year 2075, which could be this year for all as lectores Noah, when I propose to most of y'all the lectores the literatura complex. There is near, just near Beget and the system, but maybe a crossbreed breath, another raw wound unnoticed with the beginning on the end of which this writing being about non-ein Packlers except the purpose of life is clearly sweet for 2075 from beginning to the end barely stomps we know everything about everything and what done. He tried explaining. Life couldn't be more complicated for the man who painted giant canvases of lands and faces in Hindu dreams and poets of nature who may have written the following words. We are here in wonder when we wish to know what wonder is through all the gas and all the liquids and all the substances which may be so atomic there may not be time to hide for the longest ride in the world when all of life tends to be like a hurled egg thrown at dinosaurs for the whole bag of coins, all because of the lines of laughing clowns who imitate the eights through the gates of sirens understood as Byron's laughter that Byron was not read even when he was dead, says the Lord who loved the chord. We then made the announcement, to hell or to Connacht, when we did not mean literally to hell, and we wished to state as we always stated, there was a woman who witnessed a man known as Colin McCormick, who was quite the star of the show in Gossip Bar, rise up to the challenge of stating to a man who simply went by the name Trevor, I dare you, and dare you again, and dare you a third time, and probably a fourth time, if not a fifth time, to escape the Emerald Land and find your way on France in a few years to come, once all the slagging matches comes to an end, and there is a figuring out about leaks of nothing in particular. And so began a pursuit de l'homme avec un corazon de toute Europe, grand quand la sophistication de toute Europe grand was most particular to his taste, in particular dans le Pays de France, which seemed more to his liking than any other country when he could have moved, dans la ville or ciudades medium de Gap or Grenoble or peut-être a real holy place surrounding Juff, Saint-Tropez for example, or simplemente, if simplemente was a word, to leave him town himself with all the bag papers of Las Bellas Artes. Anyway, since I was Yeats or stemmed on from Yeats, but it didn't need to be necessarily William B, but could have been John or Jack or Lily or Lolly, even as a matter of fact. What I am trying to say is, by going by this solemn juncture, I admit I was not the greatest human being the world had ever come across, even by my own liking. Yet I had a little bit of narcissism, it has to be said, which I tried to avoid most of the time. Wishing instead to be hidden behind closed doors when I allowed my being to fall to a huge degree of isolation, Jews whose locals wish poor my identity Trevor, as you will have gooded below. And it was for this reason there was a Jack Y walk from the back earth of the Oaks Mountains, which was not dissimilar to a place known as not crockery, but back crossed by the hot plates on the stove were popping up enough when there was a woman from the country cooking mince meat all the time, with of us loved with for the simple reason of economics and a tub of mama's still cooking, which was always Montsmouth. She was that was woman in the month, but were took at the slacking to her hospitality when she took the slacking to all of us, especially whose mom's mat was always cooked for us, and she would never have known a oud matum of loose batunes in a particular time when my memoria Gushla haben and gov me num de la place of Latino wonders and affair of les algers imitating a sluice of due truth to me. Einmal wuk auto da ciudad nor hannig me gati an Budaville when les algers moon sud I was local after I dust I was algers moon for a loot. Yes, here again, and it was already stated in the field of literature, which has just gone past. Colin McCormick was going to win, and when Beak, given the man known as Trevor, would lose 30 kilos by the time Milton managed to get into the summer months, given the fact that as the unreliable narrator it would be Milton himself, and not Trevor, who would be losing 30 kilos, as was witnessed by the woman who was looking over Yeats' shoulder, Colin McCormick's shoulder, Milton's shoulder, as well as Trevor's shoulder, as well as my own shoulder, whoever the fuck I tend to be on a given day of the year. And that's the end of chapter 13, and it was difficult to read.